Steven Kubacki was a successful 23-year-old college student at Hope College in Holland, Michigan. He had only 3 classes left to graduation, a job lined up post-grad, and his father was in the process of signing over the deed to the house. In other words, Steven was doing great. And in February of 1978, he disappeared. He had gone on a solo cross-country ski trip. It wasn't uncommon for him. He enjoyed hiking and skiing and taking day trips in the area. When he didn't return after 2 days, his parents contacted authorities and reported him missing. Then 2 snowmobilers found his skis and his backpack 11 miles from where he was last seen on the banks of Lake Michigan. Footprints led from his gear to the frozen lake and then just disappeared. There was no sign that the ice had broken. There was no trace of any other footprints other than the one set. There was simply no logical answer as to where Steven could have gone. There was an extensive search of the area that followed. Despite the fact that a body was never found, he was officially declared deceased. 15 months later, he woke up in a field in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, more than 700 miles away from where he disappeared. He was dressed in clothes he didn't recognize, carrying a bag full of strange maps, with no memory of how he got there or what happened in the past year. Among the more unusual items in his possession was a T-shirt from the Pavo Naruni Marathon in Iron County, Wisconsin, from August of 1978. Did he run it? Well, there's no record of his name in the marathon registry, but that doesn't mean that he didn't participate. According to a divinity student named Ron Curtis, on May 5th, 1979, the same day that Steven reappeared, he picked up a man who looked strikingly like Steven and drove him to a house that happens to be owned by Steven's aunt. This man, however, called himself Nathan, not Steven. He said that he had just flown from San Francisco to Boston and then took a bus from Boston to Pittsfield. Nathan said that he was visiting a friend with news about a missing person. Now, maybe there was another man that happened to look like Steven visiting Steven's aunt on the day that Steven reappeared, but that's a few too many coincidences for me. Why he'd use a different name, no one knows. There's no Nathan in the marathon registry either, by the way. Now, it's easy to say that maybe Steven just wasn't ready to adult and he took some time off, or maybe he had a mental break and had a dissociative fugue, or it was a case of extreme amnesia. None of these answers explain how he went for over a year with no one seeing him. The usual explanation for many online is that he was abducted by aliens or a victim of the Lake Michigan Triangle. Not unlike the famous Bermuda Triangle, the area of Lake Michigan where Steven disappeared is known for mysterious disappearances dating back to the 1600s. For years, in every interview, Steven said that he remembered nothing. He remembered looking out at the frozen water. He remembered feeling cold, and he remembered waking up in a field. That's all. he dropped out of the public eye. He got his PhD in psychology, taught at multiple universities, and just lived a normal life. Then, after 45 years, he has decided, with the help of a sci-fi writer named Dylan James Quarles, to tell his story as he remembers it. The book has yet to find a publisher, and both Steven and Dylan refuse to let the cat out of the bag. The only real sneak peek as to what is in the book and what happened comes from Kubacki's website, where it says the story involves a revolutionary organization, an idealistic terrorist in training named Nathan T. Stanfield, spiritual experiences with hallucinogenic drugs and altered realities, the French Foreign Legion, and a young man's struggle to find the meaning during a turbulent time. Sounds interesting? Maybe one day we'll get to read it.